Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In light of the news of Donald J. Trump being found guilty on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, a lot of people are wondering, where do we go from here? What does this mean? Is Trump still able to run? And I'm on neither side of the political spectrum. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here just to kind of bring you the news and to create conversation and dialogue around, important topics. And I think this is very important, namely because it's not just an ordinary person. It's not just, a wealthy person or a business person. This is a former United States president. Donald Trump is the first United States of America president to be convicted of a crime. And these are felony convictions. And so where do we go from here? To answer the question, can he still run? Yes, Donald Trump can still run for presidential election in November. This particular case in no way affects that, at least legally, right? Politically, you could say so. I think it's definitely going to have some sort of effect on potential voters, someone who, those individuals who are kind of in the middle, neither Democrat or Republican, or just could care less, or just apathetic, or just on the fence. I think this definitely could impact those middle swing voters in the opposite direction. I think it definitely could have them take a deeper look, a deeper view on if they were kind of leaning towards, Trump, but wasn't exactly sure, possibly Biden, who knows. I think something of this magnitude can definitely put a damper, or definitely, add in a bucket for persuasion for either Biden or either not to vote. And rightfully so, right? Anytime someone's convicted of a crime, it definitely puts a stain. Even if, you got to think about it, this presidential election, it's applying for the highest job in the land, right? So even if you're applying for, let's say, a regular 9-to-5 or, whatever type of position, the question generally is asked, have you ever been convicted of a crime, and or have you ever been convicted of a felony? I remember when I was in college and I did apply for financial aid, that was one of the questions. Were you or have you ever been convicted of a crime or of a felony? Or I want to say even maybe of a misdemeanor, I can't recall. But definitely, have you ever been convicted of a crime? And luckily for me, no. But for many individuals, that answer is yes. And it does, in many ways, affect the outcome of your future. It definitely affects the outcome of that potential job position, that potential loan, that, housing loan, auto loan, student loan, grant, whatever, even applying into some colleges. Yes, you do have to answer these questions. So being a convicted felon is now something that's a part of you, a part of your brand, if you will. So I do think that will definitely have a significant impact coming up in November. Now, unfortunately, we Americans, we do tend to kind of have a short attention span, and we do forget things relatively quickly. And it's May, end of May coming into June. I'm not going to say that people are just going to forget, but the sting definitely goes away after time. Like if the election were next month or even the month after, then yeah, it's still pretty fresh, and those who are adamant against crimes will definitely, not be voting for Trump. For those who may be sort of lenient or understanding or what have you, will have long for, I'm not going to say, will forget, but basically it's a good amount of time away, and we do tend to forget things, or it's seemingly not as important, or some other event will have happened, and it's, it kind of pales in comparison to the moment. So do I think that he still has a significant chance of becoming the Republican candidate, of potentially winning the election in November. I do think it is possible. I do think that he's, and again, I'm not on either side of the fence, but I do think that there's a significant base for him, and people are still captivated in some way. People are still intrigued. People still follow him. People still, support him. So I definitely think that it is still possible for him to win. I think that the Democratic Party definitely has, to roll up their sleeves if they're looking for winning the election in November. I think they still have a lot of work to do. And I think we as a nation, we as a country still have a lot to do. And I do wonder how this will impact our, democracy moving forward. How will this impact our laws moving forward? How will this impact political processes moving forward? I do wonder, what's going to be the historical precedents that this, will have set. And when we look back in 10, 15, 20 years, how will this is a, historically defining moment. What will be the outcome ultimately? Somebody who, like myself, who loves history and okay, well, this was the turning point. I always wonder now that I'm a little bit older, how things will impact tomorrow. Leave your thoughts down in the comments.